Good evening. We will start the session in next 3 minutes.
કેમ છો જગદીશભાઈ? સુભાષભાઈ?
ફાઇન, મજામાં. કેમ છો સાહેબ?
બસ જો સરસ.
સંતોષભાઈ ઘણા દિવસે, સુભાષભાઈ ઘણા દિવસે.
શું કે મીઠા બજાર?
બસ બહુ ફર્સ્ટ ક્લાસ, સારું છે.
સરસ.
નમક નથી આ વખતે, સોલ્ટ નથી. તમારું નામ જોયું પેનલિસ્ટ માં, મેં કીધું સુભાષભાઈ મળશે ઓનલાઈન.
સરસ.
A very good evening and a very warm welcome to all our viewers and esteemed panelists who have joined us today for the pre-budget consultation on ease of doing business for MSMEs, the focus state being Gujarat this evening. I am Sushma Morthania, Director General India SME Forum and your host for today's session. At India SME Forum, it has been our constant endeavor to keep contributing towards the entrepreneurial ecosystem and ease of doing business for MSMEs of India. It has been a constant effort that we keep calling for various recommendations, suggestions, feedback from our members, subscribers, and all MSMEs who are connected with us across India through our various chapters. Even this year, we are calling out for recommendations and suggestions that we could represent for the upcoming budget that we all are keenly awaiting and waiting for February 1st. More so because COVID has left many MSMEs in a kind of lurch, and a lot of MSMEs are waiting for many amnesty schemes and definitely how they can restart their businesses or pick up the tempo of doing business. Though for some MSMEs, the festivals have added a lot of color and light, but there are still many waiting for that energy to and business to be infused again in the ecosystem. So at India SME Forum, we have adopted two-pronged approach for getting recommendations and feedback that we could send for the budget, this year's budget. Number one, we have been approached by many of the ministries, not just Ministry of MSME, but also Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Ministry of Textiles, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, and we have been constantly approached by them asking for feedback, asking for ground reality, and asking for what is it that can bring about a positive change in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and what are the policy changes that can be brought about for helping MSMEs take their business to the next level. So first, we are inviting feedback and recommendations directly from our members and subscribers. That is one way of getting the recommendation. And second way that we have adopted is through these pre-budget consultations with focus states. Focus states, mainly the ones which are progressive and highly industrialized states. So yesterday, we had the consultation with the state of Uttar Pradesh. Today we have Gujarat, and many other states will follow in the next week. Mainly, we all know that MSME is a state subject, and the state has to provide a very, very robust kind of infrastructure, taxation policies, GST policies, single window system, and many other such, for innovation, research and development, and many other such factors for, businesses and MSMEs to flourish. So that is going to be the objective for today's consultation. I would like to introduce our viewers to the very august panel and special guests we have this evening. Shri Ranjit Kumar Ji, IAS, Commissioner MSMEs, Government of Gujarat. I presume he is just joining, so he will be with us in next few minutes. We have with us Shri Parag Shah, Joint Commissioner, E-Governance, Taxes, Government of Gujarat. Welcome to you, sir. Shri Nagji Bhai Desai, Deputy Commissioner, Tax, E-Governance, Gujarat, Government of Gujarat. Welcome to you, sir. From among the panelists, we have our entrepreneur members. I have the pleasure of inviting, before that, I would like to invite Shri Amit Dharwa, Technical Advisor, Ease of Doing Business, Industries Department, Gujarat. Welcome, sir. Shri Nilesh Bhai Desai, Honorary Secretary of India SME Forum, Gujarat Chapter. Welcome, Nilesh Bhai. Hope you're doing good. Namaskar. Miss Jyoti Sudhir, Director and Co-Founder of Invent India Innovations. Miss Hetal Patel, Manager Account and Finance, Sinova Gears and Transmissions. Welcome to you, Jyoti ji and Hetal ji.
हाँ बेटा.
हेलो हाँ पापा आ गए
Okay, thank you.
Shri Hemant Bhai Baksi, Executive Director, Bombay Super Hybrid Seeds. Welcome, Hemant Bhai. Shri Jagdish Bhai Nahta, Managing Director, Nahta Salt and Chemical. Welcome, Jagdish Bhai. Shri Subhash Bhai Ghelani, Owner, Shri Dhanlakshmi Chemicals. And Mr. Ankit Dhanani, Director, Samtel Energy. Welcome, Subhash Bhai and Ankit Bhai. Great to have you all today here. To conduct this session and conversation, I would like to invite our President, Shri Vinod Kumar, to join the panel. Welcome to you, sir. We have invited a very, very select group of people in this closed room Zoom discussion. Otherwise, we are joined by our viewers on YouTube. So there they can only send us comments. But in this closed Zoom room discussion, we only have very, very select members who are members of our various task force. So, over to you, Vinod sir.
Thank you very much, Sushma ji, and a warm welcome to all my friends here. I see some familiar faces, and I also see Nilesh Bhai Desai here. Welcome, sir. It's such a pleasure to have all of you here. And we are yet to be joined by Ranjit sir and Parag Saab. So I think both of them are not here yet. In the meanwhile, while they join, let me make some of the points clear in terms of what are we going to do. Well, we have 8 rounds in all in terms of various requirements that we are talking about for discussion today. And in this, the order of discussion is going to be about each category that we have put across, which is infrastructure, which is ease of doing business for startups and small and micro enterprises, then labor laws and R&D, innovation, intellectual property, access to capital, digitalization and technological upgrades, taxation, compliances, GST, penalties, and export development in that order. So that is the order of how we will be discussing these points. We've already received feedback from over 300 enterprises in Gujarat on what sort of issues that they feel or suggestions that they have given us. So we would be going to discuss some of those and obviously taking points from all of you. And one by one, while I invite each one of you to offer your suggestions on the various topics, I'd request the rest of the speakers to keep their mics on mute so that we can have a thorough discussion without any disturbance to the speaker. One of the first things that we keep on talking about most of the time is infrastructure. You know, as a micro, small and medium enterprise, what do we need from the central government in the first place to put into perspective what we are doing compared to what the West or what a country like China or Korea and all these countries that are having huge amounts of manufacturing, and what all these guys do compared to what we are doing, and how we can create a better evolved system which can respond to our requirements quickly. The government is very objectively looking at suggestions from us. One of the suggestions that has come across is about plug and play model of industrial estates, where people can just go and start whatever they are, rather than having to waste 12, 14, 16 months in constructing and then starting their business. Similarly, communications, power, water, transport, roads. One of the schemes that is already there from the central government is the cluster development scheme, wherein existing industrial estates can use that to further their infrastructure upgrades that they need, and also for development of new industrial estates. The Ministry of MSME just 2 weeks back has set up has inaugurated flatted industrial estate on the lines of what we have in China, or what we have in Mumbai or in Delhi for that matter. Most of you might be knowing that Mumbai has more than 270 industrial estates, where each estate houses anywhere close to 1,000, 1,200 enterprises, and which are comprehensive in the sense that you have on the ground floor, you have very large machinery, then you have first floors, lighter machinery, second, third, fourth, and so on. And the top floors primarily are for service industries or service enterprises. So this sort of a model has been emulated by various states, and Haryana, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana for that matter. In Gujarat also there is a policy for setting up industrial estates, but it still is not able to provide any land. It is only saying that you have to have your own land and you have to then build on it. Apart from that, in terms of infrastructure, we need inland ports for exports, we need container stations for exports, and so on and so forth. So I'd leave it to you. And I'd like to first start with Nilesh Desai Saab. So what is your input on infrastructure for the central government? Apart from the cluster development scheme, should the central government do anything else in order to boost infrastructure requirements for micro, small, and medium enterprises or startups that want to set up quickly, especially in this day and age where you have loads and loads of enterprises that don't have the time to waste for 6, 8, 10 months to acquire land, then build and do work thereafter?
Sir, my basic primary information portal for MSME, just I think we start from there. Many times we found that small and medium entrepreneurs do not have knowledge of number of registration they need to get from various departments of government. So awareness of various registration requirement industries wise should be provided on MSME portal, which will be very much helpful for new entrepreneurs. Secondly, the new industrial policy has given many new incentives and subsidies up to the MSME through service sector has been included in the MSME. They have not been provided much incentive. The service sector should be encouraged by providing the more incentive under the industrial policy. Also, the process of approval and reimbursement of fund under the scheme should be made faster as delayed as observed in the area. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Nilesh Bhai. I'd like to next go over to the two ladies that we have with Dr. Jyoti, Miss Jyoti first, and then we will hear from Hetal.
Thanks, Vinod Bhai, and good afternoon to all the fellow panelists. And it's a pleasure to be on this panel. Thanks for the invitation. And as the first round is on infrastructure, I'll speak precisely on that. And I strongly feel, any strategy to do with infrastructure needs to be very different for services, MSMEs, and those in the products or manufacturing sector. These are absolutely two different segments that we are addressing. Now, when we are talking of products, we are looking at across the whole of Gujarat, I think there are just 10 ICDs and there are just 2 ports. So when we look at the cost of logistics, I think that is what is killing most of the MSMEs. If we want to grow, it is the cost that we need to control. Profits will happen on their own. And that is where the challenge is. So I feel a lot of support to smaller logistic companies who can compete and policies conducive to them, and also linking the smaller ports to the larger cities in a way that the deliveries happen and we don't face a lot of time in clearance issues, import issues. Also, if you look at startups, when we are talking of startups and infrastructure, and we are talking of clearance issues, a lot of these startups have very small teams. And we end up wasting a lot of time dealing with CHAs. It's not just time, it's cost, they're expensive. We don't know how to deal with clearance issues in the first place. These HS codes and all that gets very complicated. So I think my 2 cents on the infrastructure bit is that reducing the cost of logistics in whatever way possible.
Thank you, Jyotiji. I'd like to go to Hetal, please.
You are on mute, Hetalji.
Yes, you can speak.
Yes,
We can hear you.
hello. Sir, at present, the GIDC industrial estates have various facilities like roads, water, drainage, gas, power infrastructure, street lights, community centers, and the skill upgradation centers. Such facilities should also be made available to the privately developed industries first. Okay. Further, the government should establish common use godowns at cheaper rate for MSMEs. So MSME can improve its distribution network across the nation in cost-effective manner. Yeah,
Very
that's
correct.
it for infrastructure.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Hetal. Very important points. Logistics infrastructure also and warehousing and godowns are very important when it comes to micro, small, medium enterprises, because they can't afford setting up their own or paying for the more costlier ones. Thank you very much. I'd like to go to Hemang Bhai.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir,
Yes. I'm Executive Director with the Bombay Super Hybrid Seeds Limited. Gujarat is having a very tremendous seed business potential. The North Gujarat is the hub of the hybrid cod seed production, and Saurashtra, the groundnut, is worldwide, the main very high quality groundnut seed production area. So we are from seed business. Now there are one of the major requirements. Just now the Nilesh sir and Vinod sir also were talking. In Gujarat, seed company cannot purchase the land for research and development in company name, right? That is the main hurdle. That's why the industry is getting shifted to Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, because there the company can purchase the land in their name. Here, if I want to, I myself is MSc Agriculture, I want to do the research, I want land, but I cannot purchase in company name. So that is one drawback, serious drawback, which is required to be improved on the infrastructure side. That is one aspect. And for taxation is important here because we taking of doubling the farmer income, make in India also.
I think Hemang Bhai is facing some network issues.
Yes, I think we can in the meanwhile go to Jagdish Bhai. Jagdish Bhai from Nata Salt and Chemicals, Managing Director, please.
Hello, everybody. I am thankful to the MSc forum to invite me as a panelist. First of all, the Gujarat SME industries existing are also facing the problems, which you can say that the licensing, government, food industries are also having the too much difficulties. Government have the law, but nobody is hearing the things which is coming into obstacles practical in business. To face the problem, to run the business, there is too much headaches for the industrialist to manage the departments, to run the industries, to see after the employees and the laborers. Gujarat is growing tremendously, but newcoming industries also have the same problems and major problem, because new licensing of GPCB, food and safety, BIS, these all things are very much headache. We are asking for a single window facility for coming industries, but there is no mode, there is no way, there is no path, there is not the way, direction to the industrialist coming entrepreneur to go on which way, how to establish the business. There is very much difficulties. So to make the in budgeting, we should advise to the ministry that there should be proper way, guidelines, and properly single window licensing system for the industries, MSMEs, and they can grow. Secondly, part is major is the logistic portion due to increase in the fuel price, the movement from our Gujarat place to all over to India, and we have the industry, but the cost, railways are also there supporting, but also international in export business, the not availability of containers, the freight has hiked 10 times. What were the freight previously? Now it goes to 10 times. Low cost commodity, minerals, chemicals, salt, this all industries are facing the problem. We had the good business of the exports from Gujarat for all over to the world. But the minerals and this all industries have facing the problem due to not availability of containers, the hike in the price of the freight, and the cost viability overall international market. There is too much difficulties. Business is in difficulty. We in this form, I suggest myself that we have the 1 hour word, 1 hour conclusion that to support the existing business and have the path to the incoming business. This is my opinion. Thank you.
Sir, kindly allow me to interrupt. I would like to welcome Ranjit sir. Sir, good evening to you, and thanks for joining us, sir. Ranjit sir is Commissioner MSME for Government of Gujarat, and we are very grateful that he has spared time to join us today. Sir, just to fill you in, I'll tell you what we are discussing and what is the order of discussion today. For the benefit of everyone, we are discussing 8 points today, and I would request all the panelists to only stick to those points when we are discussing those points. So any issues related to only those points may be answered so that we could thereafter ask for feedback and comments from Ranjit sir or Parag sir or Amit ji on those points. What we are discussing right now, we are talking about infrastructure. Second point will be on starting and setting up single window system and ease of doing business. Third would be labor laws and employment generation schemes. Fourth is R&D, innovation and intellectual property. Fifth is access to capital. Sixth, digitalization and technological upgradation. Seventh, taxation, compliances, GST and penalties. And last would be on export development. તો મારી બધાને વિનંતી છે કે ખાલી આ ટોપિકની ઉપર તમારા જે સજેશન હોય કે પ્રોબ્લેમ હોય તો બસ એની ઉપર જ પ્રિસાઇસલી તમે કહો. તમારી પાસે નહીં હોય સજેશન તો we can move on to the next order or the next round. અને અમે એક રાઉન્ડ કમ્પ્લીટ કર્યા પછી રંજીત સરને કે પરાગ સરને કે અમિતભાઈને આપણે પૂછીશું એમના કમેન્ટ્સ માટે. So that is the order of discussion.
Actually, I'm having a state level meeting at 4 o'clock. As
Sir.
Mr. Dadru insisted, I just
Yes.
came for 5 minutes only. Already my officers, my joint commissioner, deputy commissioner, they are very much available. They are there. So kindly excuse me. Because as you mentioned that in the 8 points, I would say a few points.
Okay.
Then I may be allowed
Okay,
to.
sir.
Okay.
Please, sir.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
In case of single window system, you may be knowing that we are having IFP portal, Investor Facilitation Portal. In that single portal, you can apply to any scheme for anything. That is a single window system. So that would be more helpful to us. Already we have MSME Facilitation and Operations Act 2019. As per the act, if anyone wants to start any enterprise, if they want to start production without getting the state government permissions, without getting any approvals from the state government, they can straight away start the production. We say first production, then approvals. So this way it would be more helpful to start the enterprise in Gujarat. As you mentioned, in case of labor law, if anyone starts business, anyone starts enterprise in Gujarat, up to 1,000 days. 1,000 days means approximately 3 years, approximately. Up to 3 years, the major labor laws would not be applicable. So many enterprises, they are facing difficulties in adhering to the labor laws. So this would give them some respite. So this way, the government is helping the new enterprises. In case of R&D, already we are on foot towards encouraging the startups, new innovations. The Startup India has given good results. Only because of that, there are so many IPR, the intellectual property rights, the registrations, many patents are received by our innovators. We have been linking them up with the investors and the industries so that they can have mass scale production, economy of scale. This way we can get the benefit out of it. Otherwise, mere having the patents in our hands would not be enough, would not be sufficient. It would be a criminal waste of wasting the innovation. So after 20 years, it would go waste. It would be an open secret. It's an open recipe. Anyone can copy it. So that's why the iCreate and iHub, they have been doing wonderful work. Recently, we decided that we shall have some sort of Shark Tank. Actually, it's a Japanese concept. Then it went to USA. It went to USA that in 2009 they started one premier program in a satellite television that like Airtel Super Singer, like a dance program. This way, they conducted one program. They have been conducting also that the innovators, they will present their innovation in front of the 7 panelists. If it is attractive, if it is worthy, immediately the panelists, the industrialists, they will declare on the spot $1 million investment. So this way, even in India, this month, I think before 3-4 days, the same concept is done by Sony TV. So I am suggesting you all, we should also have such Shark Tank in Gujarat level, so that we can commercialize the innovations which are done by our young innovators. નહીં તો ગુજરાતીમાં એ રીતે કહીએ છીએ ને, શોભાના ગાંઠિયા જેમ. જ્યાં સુધી આને કમર્શિયલાઇઝેશન ના થાય તો નકામું છે. એટલા માટે આપણે મહેનત કરીએ. આ માટે GCCI સાથે પણ વાત કરી છે. After this VG, Vibrant Gujarat Summit, we will have this in elaborate manner. It need not to be a TV program, because everyone may not be seeing the TV program. It is always told that innovators, the businessmen, they don't have enough time to see the TV program. Correct. So better we will have our own YouTube channel, so that whoever wants, let them search, let them identify them in that program, YouTube program. We will give the infographics. In that, their contact details shall be given, so that at any point of time, 24/7, anyone can see those videos and they can approach the innovators. This way, we will act as a bridge between the innovators and the industries. Then, as I told earlier, R&D. Actually, we have to innovate the new things. If not possible, let us emulate. Let us get those innovations from outside. For that, we are having technology acquisition scheme. Under this scheme, the government of Gujarat scheme, we are giving up to 50 lakh rupees to get the patented technology transfer know-how kind of things. So this way, we are helping. Then for the capital, we have executed MOU with Bank of Baroda and SBI. As per the MOU, any industrialist, any entrepreneur, they can apply through our single window system. That is our IFP portal. If they get into IFP portal, then they can apply any loan. either in SBI or in Bank of Baroda. Up to 5 crore rupees. If anyone uploads the relevant documents, necessary documents, within 7 working days, they would get in principle approval from the concerned bank. If there is some hiccups, then we are here to help them. That's why this portal, this IFP portal, that interface between the bank and us is done. Then it would be regularly reviewed by the SLBC also. So you need not to worry about the capital part. Then digitalization. In case of digitalization, we are having COE, Center of Excellence, that is NASCOM, that is there in Gujarat, that is in Gandhinagar, that is inside the campus of IIT Gandhinagar. They are ready to help our SMEs to make their production digitalized, to innovate, to infuse digital solutions, to increase the effectiveness, efficiency, productivity, and all. As a pilot batch, we means Mr. Amit Saluja, he is the director of NASCOM. He and his own team, they went to, they had many sensitization programs with the industries. Then we gave open invitation that those who are interested, they can come forward. We will give the solutions. We will do the hand holding free of cost. So yesterday only we shortlisted 10 industries. Sector wise, we chose one. This way, shortly we will have one program, one VC with those 10 industries who are selected for digital solutions. We call it as digital manufacturing champions. So this way we would be helping digitalization of the manufacturing of our MSMEs. Then other things can be covered by rest of our colleagues and friends. Yes, sir. So I may be really. Yes, please.
Sure. Ranjit sir, there's something that what we were talking about is 6 ministries have approached us primarily for suggestions that they want to propose in the budget. So is there anything that you feel is of importance that you would want from the center in terms of funds, in terms of schemes or whatever? So that is what I wanted to ask you.
Mr. Vinodji, not only me, anyone cannot discuss these things here, because if we feel if it is right, if it is needed, already we have conveyed these to the concerned departments. We have already informed the necessary things which are needed for the industry. Okay, so you cannot ask, and also I should not say.
Good enough. Good enough. No, I just repeated it primarily for the purpose of all the people that are here, that are listening to us. We all understand that Gujarat is one of the most progressive states for MSMEs. All the steps that you and your team has taken under the able leadership of the the Chief Minister and the other functionaries, we all understand that there are some steps which are exemplary, and we take those examples and cite it to other states, whether it is the way your single window system is operating, whether it is about the labor laws being allowed. There are a couple of things here and there which also we will discuss, obviously, and we will whatever is the end of the discussion today, sir, we will share that with your office, and we would obviously request you to have a look at it before we actually finalize it and send it to the national. We are going to have the national roundtable somewhere in the first week of January. We will definitely before that send it to you and get your comments on whatever we are proposing to the government. Thank you very much, Ranjit sir, for coming.
Thank you very much, all of you.
It was great to hear you in Gujarati today.
Okay, Mr. Nilesh Desai is.
Nilesh Desai ji wants to talk. Yeah.
He wants to say something. Yeah.
Sir, I am Nilesh Desai, Regional Secretary, India Scientific Forum and Board Member of Gujarat Chamber of Commerce. Actually, sir, તમારા વખાણ બહુ સાંભળ્યા છે. દરેક ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીયલ એસોસિએશન સાથે તમારું રિફ્લેક્શન કરે છે અને તમારા બહુ વખાણ સાંભળ્યા છે. અને નવા ચીફ મિનિસ્ટર શ્રી ભૂપેન્દ્રભાઈ પટેલ સાથે એક ફોર્મલ મીટિંગ અમારા ઇન્ડિયા ફોરમના પ્રેસિડેન્ટ વિનોદ કુમારજી, સુષ્માજી અને નિલેશ શુક્લ સાથે અમારી થઈ હતી અને એમાં પર્ટિક્યુલરલી એમએસએમઈ માટેની રજૂઆત હતી અને એમાં એમણે એઝ અ સ્ટેટ એમને સપોર્ટ આપવાની પણ વાત કરી છે. એટલે અમારા માટે સૌથી મોટો ફાયદો એ છે કે આપી એટલા પોઝિટિવ છો અને સ્ટેટ તરફથી પણ આપણને ખાતરી મળી રહી છે. તો ડેફિનેટલી બધા ભેગા થઈને કંઈક સારું આપની ઉપયોગી સલાહ પ્રમાણે કંઈક સારું થશે એવી આપણે આશા રાખીએ છીએ.
ઓકે જી, ખૂબ ખૂબ આભાર. ઓકે, થેન્ક યુ.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we move forward? We still had Subhashji, Honorable
And
Shri
Ankit Bhai, yeah, Ankit Bhai also.
Subhashji and Ankit Bhai have not talked about whether they
Yes.
have something to talk about infrastructure, please.
Yes, I'm Subhash Garani here. I'm an industrialist and I have also developed one project under the scheme of government of Gujarat, mini industrial estate. I have find so many hurdles on point of the investment and selling the product. This is a very good scheme. Like that, warehouse also is a very good scheme. But there are some hurdles because we cannot sell it. We cannot invest first and then sell. It is a very difficult one. We are not a builder. Secondly, the existing GIDC and existing industrial estate, private industrial estate, they are also should give a development. There are so many schemes, but there is no such an associations. They are very old, and between them there is some gap. They cannot come directly to government, and they get the. There are so many hurdles. So in infrastructure, power, water, and logistics, these are the main things in effluent. There are the four things should be developed in the existing GIDC and existing private industrial estate also. Besides that, in new industrial estate, Wi-Fi, digitalizations, banks, hospitalizations, likewise, common facilities should be developed by the government directly. That's my suggestion.
Thank you very much, Subhashji. Can we have Ankit ji, please?
Thank you, India SME Forum. As a new entrepreneur, new startup, I would like to suggest that as a new startup, like engineering pass out or college pass out, first of all, infrastructure. So GIDC, right now we have GIDC plan is there in Gujarat, right? So what I suggest that new startup business should have some special category or some special land requirement, land helping requirement from the government. And as I said, sir, that land as well as other facilities like initial startups, like for first year or 2 years, the basic electricity duties, electricity charges should be lesser than existing industrialists to the new entrepreneurs or new startups. So new startups will easily get benefit from government. For logistic point of view, I would suggest that railway, right? The railway is there, but the railway is not connected to the GIDCs. So how we can start our like I'm in Gujarat, Ahmedabad right now. I'm selling my product to entire India, right? But I would go for private logistics company, which their prices are high, and as of now the diesel price is high. So we cannot afford such logistic cost. So how can connect railways, like railways, Indian Post is there, right? Indian Post is good network in pan India. The railways as good, railway is also having such facilities are there, but railway is not directly connected to the GIDCs. So how we can make some one point where the railway offices or post special logistics offices can be start at the GIDC level, and we can get benefits from government. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Very, very well put, Ankit Bhai. Two very important suggestions that had already come to us. One was that use of post offices primarily for e-commerce, door-to-door deliveries, and connecting that with the Indian railway hubs wherever possible. So both of these are very valid suggestions. And I think both Piyush Goyal sir's office as well as the Ministry of Finance would be very open to doing both. We've also had a chat with the Indian Postmaster General a couple of months back, and they have been also gearing up to look at how they can substitute fulfillment services, that we need as MSMEs, even with, because Post has the largest coverage in terms of, across the country, even in small cities, even in small towns and all that, because we would want material and supplies to even come from those small villages wherever required, if we have to enable rural India to come into the forefront. Very, very valid suggestions there. Thank you very much for this round. I would request Amitji, if you have anything to say on the infrastructure point.
Yeah, good evening, Vinodji, and good evening to all the panel. Thanks for putting Gujarat in a focus state, first of all. Yeah, I would like to answer some of the questions which our panelists have raised here. So first of all, one of the panelists has raised the where to go and which approvals and which license to be obtained for new startups and everything. So for that, I would like to answer that there is a IAP portal. On the IAP portal, if you register, there is a column, the know your approvals. So wherein list of approvals which needs to be obtained prior to the operation and post operation, that already has been listed. So I request all the MSME units to please spare some times on the portal, so that what are all the facilities of Gujarat they are giving that can be known to them. Another question was related to the common go down facilities need to be developed. For that, we have a infrastructure scheme under which we as a government we are giving the incentives in the tune of 25 crores. So that can be availed. That is a common facility to all the MSME units. Third was the license from different departments. So for that, I would like to mention here in 2019, the government has passed one Gujarat Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Facilitation and Establishment Operation Act, which is on the philosophy of first production and then permission, wherein the government is, exempting the entrepreneur for 3 years to take any permission from the state government. After establishing their operation for 3 years, if they feel they want to go ahead, then they need to take a permission from the government. So I think this is also no need to go for each and every department, and it is single window system. So they need to apply once on the IAP portal only. And for young entrepreneurship, which my friend has recently told, so in that we have a scheme for capital subsidy and interest subsidy, where we are giving special more incentive to the young entrepreneur, which is below 35 years. So I think these are all the facilities we are offering from the government side. So I think this is for this.
Amit bhai, is the government also looking at some sort of plug and play facilities that can be set up by the government itself for new companies that are coming up, rather than they having to go for land to GIDC and then constructing and so on and so forth? You've also got the private, private industrial estate thing, wherein, the independent developers can set up industrial estates and sell them and thereafter run them. Do you think the government can in the future look at setting up flatted factories like they are in China or in Germany or in the US?
Yes, Vinodji, as of now, it will be difficult to say, but the government, it will be difficult for government to set up by itself ki ye aisa like a particular like estate and everything on its own. Then they always government will prefer to give incentives so that the association can build on their own and they can operate. So that kind of model right now government is preferring.
उसमें अमित जी अभी जो जैसे आंध्र प्रदेश में या तेलंगाना में जिस प्रकार का मॉडल चल रहा है उसमें ये है कि मान लीजिए जैसे गिलानी साहब बोल रहे थे कि प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्रियल एस्टेट भी अगर है तो वो जीआईडीसी के साथ पार्टनरशिप में आके जमीन जीआईडीसी की होती है जिसपे मान लीजिए 300, 400, 500 लोगों को एकोमोडेट करने के लिए इंडस्ट्रियल एस्टेट बनता है और उसका दोनों लोग पार्टनर्स होते हैं उसमें. So that could be a possibility in the future if that can be explored, because that is something as a model which has been used even in Maharashtra. It has been used also in Andhra Pradesh and also in Telangana, and Haryana is just starting. And जैसे मैंने बोला कि आसाम में ये पहली बार अभी just 15-20 दिन पहले आदरणीय MSME मंत्री ने स्टार्ट किया, इनॉग्रेट किया. तो ये मॉडल भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मॉडल हो सकता है गुजरात की MSME के डेवलपमेंट के लिए.
Yes, sir. That the suggestions is well taken, sir. That can be looked up.
So thanks for that. I'm going to go to the next. Parag sir, do you have any comments on this one? I'm not sure it is within your purview, but any comments? You see, you have been dealing with businessmen day in and day out. So you know our problems, you know everything. So anything that you would like to comment as far as infrastructure is concerned?
No comment on infrastructure.
Thank you, sir. So I'll go to the next round where we are talking about labor. One of the things that Haryana and Odisha has done very recently, जैसे रंजीत सर ने बोला कि भाई गुजरात में लेबर लॉ से आपको राहत मिल जाती है पहले 5 साल. But that's not same. That may not be applied to people that are already there and which have already set up their businesses and all that. So Haryana, for example, इन्होंने पहली बार एक ऐसा रूल पास किया है जिसमें ड्राफ्ट उसका बनाया है जिसमें what they are saying is कि भाई 48 hours का आपने काम करवाना है. तो अगर आपके पास 5-day वीक है तो आप 8 घंटे के हिसाब से न लेके आप 9 घंटे तक विदाउट पेइंग ओवर टाइम यू कैन डू. क्योंकि अब हम देख रहे हैं कि हर जगह पे 5-day वीक हो रहा है धीरे धीरे. तो 5-day वीक में अगर 8 घंटे ही करे तो वो 48 आवर्स के कम हो रहा है, 40 आवर्स हो रहा है. तो अगर वर्कर को वो आई थिंक इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट्स एंड एंटरप्रेन्योर्स नीड दैट लीवे कि अगर आप 5-day वीक कर रहे हैं तो इंस्टेड ऑफ 8 आवर्स अ डे यू डू 9 आवर्स एंड फिर सैटरडे को छुट्टी दे दें. और उसके ऊपर अगर 9 आवर्स से ऊपर जाता है तो फिर ओवर टाइम अप्लाई करेगा. तो ये पहली बार हरियाणा और उड़ीसा ने स्टार्ट किया है. मतलब तरीका है जिसमें हम भी चाहते हैं कि हमारे वर्कर्स हैं, एम्प्लॉइज हैं, उनको भी राहत मिले, एक दो थोड़ा मतलब चैन की सांस लें, बट एट द सेम टाइम प्रोडक्टिविटी हमारी इफेक्ट न हो. तो एक ऐसा चीज है. उसके अलावा लेबर का तो हम सबको पता है कि भाई गुजरात में एग्जिस्टिंग स्टार्टअप्स के लिए, स्टार्टिंग अप यूनिट्स के लिए बहुत सारी रियायतें दी हैं ऑलरेडी. बट इसके अलावा अगर कोई क्वेश्चंस या सजेशंस है तो उसके लिए आई वुड लाइक टू फर्स्ट गो टू Nilesh Bhai Desai, if there are any specific with regards to labor issues.
Sir, the industries have to undertake a tough task of balancing automation with employment generation, especially in the current difficult time. From promoting ease of doing business, awareness about the benefit of the apprentice scheme need to be generated, and joint program with industries and associations should be held more frequently for being about this awareness.
Thank you, Nilesh Bhai. I'd like to go to Jyoti ji, please.
Not much on this one, but because I deal with a super niche sector, which is innovation. And what my experience has been, although we have the best of institutes, whether it is the IIM Ahmedabad or the CEPT or the NID, it is very, very difficult for us to retain the best talent in Ahmedabad when it comes to niche sectors. One of the reasons is good accommodations for these people in terms of, when they come as bachelors and spinsters, they're looking for extremely good PG accommodations. A very small factor, but retention goes a long way if we take care of, again, related to infrastructure and rest. I think labor I'm not dealing with much, but
retention retention is a universal problem for MSMEs throughout the country. And one of the things that has been said over and over again is that MSMEs generally training grounds बन जाते हैं freshers के लिए, और ट्रेनिंग हम लोग दे देते हैं, उसके बाद वो मूव ऑन करते हैं बड़ी कंपनीज के लिए. तो बट ये ट्रेनिंग करने का और एम्प्लॉयमेंट देने का हमको कोई भी इंसेंटिव नहीं मिलता, और कोई भी शाबाशी भी नहीं.
I would say कंपनी तक ठीक है, बट वो कंट्री भी चेंज कर लेते हैं. That is a problem. That should not happen.
Very correct. नहीं, very correct. और कंट्री भी इसी, जब हम when we talk about large industry, तो कोई भी large industry आज बोलती है कि भाई मैं 2000 लोगों को एम्प्लॉय करूंगा, तो उनको फटाफट हम लोग रेड कार्पेट डाल देते हैं, उनको जमीन भी मुफ्त दे देते हैं, बाकी सब चीजें भी करते हैं. बट एमएसएमईज जो मेजॉरिटी एम्प्लॉयमेंट देते हैं, जो ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं, कोई भी बड़ी कंपनी वेरी रेयरली एक्सेप्ट फॉर आईटी कंपनीज फ्रेशर्स को ही लेती है. तो फ्रेशर्स सब पूरे के पूरे एमएसएमईज में ट्रेन होते हैं, बट ये ट्रेनिंग का भी हमको कोई फायदा नहीं मिलता, न तो मतलब उसका यश मिलता है. तो किसी प्रकार का क्या कोई एम्प्लॉयमेंट इंसेंटिव कुछ होना चाहिए जो हम सब लोग को मदद करे कहीं ना कहीं पे. अब ये किस प्रकार से हो सकता है मुझे नहीं पता. आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग ऑल ऑफ यू.
It's an open ground, I think. 3 years, 5 years, some retention incentive. I don't know. 10 years is like a boost.
फिर तो वो जेल हो जाएगा ज्योति जी, फिर तो वो जेल हो जाएगा कि भाई आपने आदमी लिया, अब उस पर छोड़ी, he can't leave you. So it will be a marriage instead of
as long as the partner is good, it's okay, I think.
Thank you. Hetal ji, you're next. Yeah, you're on mute. Hetal ji, you're on mute. No, you're still on mute, man.
Hello. No such
Yes,
comments
now,
standing in this section, sir.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to Hemang Bhai.
No, sir, you already covered nicely. We are training institute and it goes.
જેમને પણ કમેન્ટ કરવું હોય on that topic, go around quickly. तो
जगदीश भाई है. जगदीश भाई, लेबर पे कोई आपका
लेबर और स्किल्ड लेबर दोनों चीज की बहुत समस्या है. आज उद्योग चलाना है तो गुजरात में बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां, जैसे टेस्ला यहाँ आना चाह रही थी, पोर्ट यहाँ पे है, कंडला मुंद्रा बड़े पोर्ट है, तो इसको कन्वीनियंस यहाँ था, लेकिन ड्यू टू नॉट अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ लेबर एंड स्किल्ड लेबर, they move to some, they are thinking not for Gujarat and somewhere else. ये सारी समस्याएं है लेबर को लेके. और यहाँ पे जो बाहर के, गुजरात के लोग तो काफी सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड हैं ही, बाहर के लोग जो आ रहे हैं तो उनके स्टेट्स में भी जो डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, जैसे यूपी के लोग थे यहाँ पे, राजस्थान के लोग थे, ओडिशा झारखंड के लोग काम कर रहे थे, तो अभी वहां डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, तो वो घर छोड़ के अभी यहाँ नहीं आ रहे हैं. तो इट विल बी वेरी मच फ्यूचरली, अभी आगे भी बहुत समस्याएं बढ़ने वाली है लेबर को लेके, और खास करके स्किल्ड लेबर को लेके बहुत दिक्कतें आने वाली है ट्रेड में.
From Jagdish Bhai, we can now go to Subhash ji.
लेबर के बारे में मेरा दो ख्याल है. The one point is that we should have a training institute much and much. Though gives the after college or after educations, people are not ready to work in a industry. Actually, they are not interested in working style, because in college they are not working. They just go and they just study and come out. But in industry, they have to work for 8 hours, 10 hours, something like that. So that training to work is to be given. Second, the residential problems. Mostly the laborers, unskilled labor, they have a problem of moving one to here to there. And so there are jhoppadpattis are already developed. So this, my point is that one residential should be there, and second is the training institute must be there by government.
Thank you, sir. Can we go to Ankit Bhai?
Yes, sir. Covered by Jagdish Bhai and Subhash Bhai. But I add on one more thing that labor is generating, we can say, start from ITI, right? So ITI, diploma, degree engineers, or like BComs, right? So as Subhash Bhai told that we need to start training program. Like they are working, they are taking education in ITI like 4 to 5 hours, but suddenly they need to switch to 8 to 9 hours working. So they are not ready to work on. So how we can start training program in between that we can connect school education or college education to industrial work, right? So basically, as well as GIDC have premises where we can start technical programs, technical weekly programs or bi-weekly programs from ITI, diploma holder or degree engineers or something like that. So they can be touch with the industrial environment. So how they can easily know that how the industry is working, what are the laws are that, how the power is coming, how the machine is going, how the manufacturing process is going on. So they are working in ITI, they are educating in ITI, they have welding machine is there, but they don't know how the welding is going on, right? They read in books, but they don't have practical knowledge. So how we can make practical environment in the GIDC estates or GIDC premises. So the labor which are in the education background, which are directly connect to the industrial environment. So this is the one bridge between the and one more thing. There is one Apprentice Act 1961 is there, right? So most of the companies, big companies are there, they have follow the Apprentice Act, but the government should start working for Apprentice Act to the small and MSME level, and there should be some tenure, as Jyoti Madam mentioned that 3 years or 2 years, or we can start with at least 1.5 years. So if people are coming out from the education background should compulsorily work with the particular particular apprentice act for 1.5 years, 2 years. So they are going to learn from the industry, and then they need to move another company or big companies like. But as Jyoti ma'am told that retention is the very big challenges right now. People are not staying the single companies. They are moving, switching very much more, very small time in 1 year, 2 years, very small time they are switching. So we need to focus on that. That's it.
Thank you, Ankit Bhai. You know, one of the things that has come across to us is that when we are talking about employing people or training them, especially freshers, there should be some sort of an OJT, an on-the-job training program that can be applicable to micro, small and medium enterprises. That micro, small, medium enterprise OJT program can be funded partially by the government for maybe 1 or 2 or 3 months. And thereafter, after the first 3 months, when the person is usable, can easily be converted to a paying opportunity, where like how we pay for an intern on an internship for a year or so. And that will also make freshers all over the country usable. Because the first thing that happens today is when people come out from engineering colleges or ITI institutes, they don't know what to do next. They don't get the first jobs. The first job itself is a very big issue. And in this, the Ministry of Labor and Employment, the last DG Labor, we had a long discussion with him, Mr. D.S. Negi, and he was very convinced. He said there needs to be a system wherein we can get all the MSMEs, and you please do a survey. We did a small survey with 600 firms across India, and to our disbelief, all the firms said we will take between 15 to 20 interns. 15 to 20 interns, we are ready to do a contract with them. So look at the employment potential. All of a sudden, you have these many firms which are saying all of us together will hire 12,000 people, which is like just out of nowhere. And just because there's a little bit of facilitation that the government is saying that we will do, and there's a model contract and all that they were talking about doing. After Mr. Negi left, we have not been able to, he retired, so we have not been able to reapproach the topic, but I'm sure we will get lot more opportunity with the new DG Labour. Amitji, your comments, please.
Yeah, Vinodji, have you invited anyone from the Labour and Employment Department from Gujarat? Is there anyone?
We tried, but the gentleman was not available today.
Okay, so yeah, I can because it will be difficult to say on the labor part, and we agree there is an issue with the labor availability, skilled and unskilled labor, but what the schemes which we are offering to the large and mega projects, which you rightly mentioned, that there is a red carpet for the large and mega project. So where we keep a provision of 85% local employment. So that provision we keep, yes, but we don't keep such provision for MSME incentives units. But yes, the suggestions are well accepted. You can compile and send it to the MSME commissioner. So that can be taken care for the next time. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Amitji. Parag sir, any comments on this round?
एक चीज है कि एजुकेशन जैसे जैसे बढ़ता जाएगा तो अनस्किल लेवल की शॉर्टेज अभी जो है वो और बढ़ेगी शायद, और जो कॉर्पोरेट यूनिट है, बड़ी कंपनियां हैं, वो लोग ज्यादा सैलरी पे कर सकते हैं, उनका रिटेंशन रेशियो ज्यादा है। उसका एक रीजन है कि वहां पे टूल्स और टेक्नोलॉजी के यूज के कारण फिजिकल वर्क कम रहता है। MSME ऐसा कोई टूल्स और टेक्नोलॉजी यूज कर सके, उसके लिए कुछ करना चाहिए जिससे रिटेंशन भी बढ़े और अनस्किल लेवल की जो शॉर्टेज है उसको काफी हद तक कम किया जा सके।
बिल्कुल सही बोला आपने सर, बहुत परफेक्ट है। इनफैक्ट मेरा नेक्स्ट जो टॉपिक है वो इसी के बारे में है कि कैसे हम लोग रिसर्च कर पाए, कैसे इसी एसएमईज इनोवेशन कर पाए, कैसे हम लोग इनोवेशन को बढ़ावा दें, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी की तरफ रुख करें। अगर आप देखें तो बड़ी कंपनियों में इनोवेशन कम होता है क्योंकि देयर आर एस्टैब्लिश्ड प्रिंसिपल्स। MSMEs में यू आर ओपन टू इनोवेट, दैट्स हाउ यू सेट अप अ न्यू कंपनी। कि आपने कुछ ऑलरेडी देखा कि कोई सर्विस मिल रही है किसी को या कोई प्रोडक्ट बिक रहा है, तो आप उसमें थोड़ा सा इनोवेशन हियर एंड देयर करते हैं, या तो प्रोडक्ट में, या तो प्रोसेस में, या तो डिजाइन में, और उसको फिर लागू करके वो आप बिजनेस बना लेते हैं। तो पोटेंशियल जो है एसएमईज के इनोवेशन का वो मतलब असीम है, लिमिटलेस है। तो कैसे इसको बढ़ावा दिया जाए, कैसे हम लोग रिसर्च ओरिएंटेड एसएमईज बनाए जो एक ही बार नहीं, स्टार्टअप के टाइम पे नहीं, उसके बाद भी कंटिन्यूअसली रिसर्च करते रहे, नई चीजें देखते रहे, प्रोसेसेस में इनोवेशन करें और फाइनली पेटेंट्स या इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी बनाएं। क्योंकि फाइनली वैल्यू क्रिएशन अगर एसएमईज में करना है जैसे लार्ज कंपनीज में होता है, तो उसके लिए पेटेंट्स, ट्रेडमार्क्स, ये सब बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। उसके बगैर तो कोई भी कंपनी बड़ी बन नहीं सकती। तो इस पे नीलेश भाई, यू हैव एनी कमेंट्स ऑन दिस?
नो सर।
Okay, Jyoti ji.
This is directly my area. So we filed like 60 patents, out of which 17 are PCT applications fully granted. Now, I think the challenge lies in the mindset, which is the fail quickly, iterate quickly, redefine quickly mindset. And there are two kinds of innovations. One is incremental, which you said, like आपने थोड़ा सा modify कर लिया, थोड़ा सा copy कर लिया, कुछ successful है West में, आपने उसको copy करके कुछ launch कर दिया. Second is disruptive. So we as a country and entrepreneurs are way apart from the disruptive mindset yet because of the fear of failure and also the lack of ecosystem support for product startups. Right. So when we talk of software and apps, we have the right ecosystem. There are investors who want to invest because there is a Uber, so they would invest in a Ola. Because there is a Amazon, they would invest in a Flipkart. But when it comes to products, I think prototype le leke log ghum rahe hain. Even when we have centers like iCreate, iHub, so many, even the IIT Chennai incubation center. But from the prototype journey to the tooling and production, it's huge money deployment, and that is where the challenge lies. Also the quality. in terms of product development, the tooling, production, precision, reliability. Those are big gaps which we need to fill as a country. So, but hats off and full compliments to Gujarat, Amit Bhai and Ranjit sir. I've been seeing them, the schemes that we have as Gujarat, where they have a 25 lakhs deployment for prototype reimbursements cost and patent reimbursement cost. And I think I'm a direct beneficiary of that. So I can speak that it is there, it exists, and you do get it. So fantastic provisions over there. As far as R&D goes, just like we have the 2% CSR incentive, or a mandatory compliance, if we have a 2% reimbursement or some kind of incentive scheme for investing in R&D, with of course whatever compliances we can do, where we do not take R&D as a burden or expense, but as an investment. I think that will go a long way in allocating the fund. Also researchers. We as a country have 100 researchers per million population, whereas if you look at even a small country like Denmark, who are way ahead, will have around 6,000 to 7,000 researchers per million population, and their salaries and everything grossly varies vis-a-vis the ecosystems and the benchmarks.
Hemang Bhai has raised his hand. Hemang Bhai. Hemang Bhai, તમે mute પર છો.
Yes. This is what the Jyoti ma'am has told. I'm adjoining that. Number one, we have no plan of research and development for the country. DSIR, Department of Scientific Industrialization, I got a certificate. Earlier, income tax benefit under clause 35(2)(ab), under 35(2)(ab was 200%. Now it has been removed in budget 2020. It was there. In 14, it was there when Modi Sahab was there. 17 also there. In 2020, prior to this corona, the last budget, CS scrapped it. Now, when you don't give the promotion for the research and development, as such our country अपना सेंसेक्स चल रहा है 50,000, चाइना का 4,000 है, क्योंकि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करते हैं. हम स्पेक्युलेशन वाले हैं. R&D के लिए आदमी रखेंगे, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर करना है, इंपोर्ट करना है, इक्विपमेंट्स, इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स. किसी की जो इंसेंटिव बेनिफिट, ये just like the routine expenses you have to claim in our balance sheet. So this is required to be 200% benefit under clause 35(2)(ab is required to be restarted at any cost. It is not for my sector, for all the sector. Make in India, we are going to be only a job work company then. If we want to innovate our things, we must have to give these benefits. SMEs and MSMEs has these big problems. Larger companies can get the fund here or there for the research and development. They can tie up, they can bring the technologies from outside. For SME, SMA, and MSME, there is no provision. So if this forum can pass on this, I have written several times to FM. Somehow it has not happened. It is applicable to everyone. So the restart of the income tax benefit of clause 35(2)(ab of 200% is highly essential. Otherwise, we are a job work country. That's all.
Very correct. Absolutely accurate. And you cited the right, even the clauses. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much, Hemang Bhai. Anybody else? Jagdish Bhai, Subhash ji, Ankit, anybody wants to comment on the R&D innovation?
Yes, Subhash Gilani.
Sure, Subhash.
Whatever the Jyoti Ben say is right, is a subject. I have two suggestions. One is we have too much colleges. Already so many engineering colleges and medical colleges are developed, but they are nowadays not in so much use. R&D centers should be developed with them, because they must be given some incentives and something like that. Second thing, in industry there are some audit purpose, energy audit, environment audit, like that should be done by government or by without any cost. So they can give their problem. Second, this problem should be given to the startups. There are so many startups are interested in doing some new things. So these problems should be given to them. In GCCI, we are doing this activity nowadays, and we want to give this all industries, whatever the problems, they give to the startup, they give to the college, and buyback that can be developed in a long way. That's all.
Excellent, excellent, sir. Jagdish Bhai, Ankit.
There are some schemes for R&D research. Government have already the incentive schemes on which we can work and we can get the benefit for further development of the business. We can make the researches in that, but we are not taking the benefits of the schemes, or we are not aware or what is the updates.
Ankit bhai.
Sir, no comment.
Vinod bhai, I have one more comment.
Yes,
Sorry to come
please.
in between. See, one more point here is, unless we strengthen the laws around the patent protection, we are talking of IP. Unless we do that, and I don't know if it is still in a civil suit agenda, but if we do not strengthen that, it's very difficult for foreign parties to trust our economy as far as patents and filing. And so we need to act on that very quickly.
Absolutely correct. I'm part of two of the intellectual property committees, and I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to making foreigners or international businesses understand our IP culture. They are very, very scared of coming to India because of this, and this is something very, very important. If we have to give a flip or boost to our economy by getting especially technological based companies and businesses to India, because they are very scared of otherwise losing control over their own designs and stuff. One of the other things that is actually there, I'll come to that. Maybe Amitji might have some points here about research and development and innovation. There's quite a few schemes already the government of Gujarat has put into place.
Yeah, Vinodji, first of all, I would like to thank Jyoti for appreciating government efforts. And as rightly mentioned by the Jagdish bhai, there are schemes available for startup R&D. We also have a scheme for patent registration, wherein we give 25 lakhs, up to the 25 lakhs of incentives. So in our schemes, if the association is there, then we can give up to 5 crore. And if individual is there, then up to 50 lakhs that we are offering. But yes, that is the awareness across the MSME unit, across the Gujarat, is very low. So the inflow of applications we are receiving is in a very low tune. So if the awareness goes, then it can be improved.
Also, Amit bhai, if you are aware, there is already a central sector scheme on IP wherein all trademarks up to 10,000 rupees, patents up to 1 lakh rupees, international patents up to 5 lakh rupees are reimbursed by the government of India.
Yeah.
And the again problem is that most people don't know about it, so it just goes waste. There are only less than 1,000 applications that have been posted. We have been pushing people, all our members, that please file for reimbursements and all that. But people are not even sure that whether they'll get the reimbursement, because they say, "Arey yaar, government से कुछ लेना मुश्किल है, कौन नहीं मिलेगा, फोकट में time waste होगा, तो इससे better है कि हम लोग करते ही नहीं, खुद ही अपने पैसे से कर लेते हैं. Let's move forward." So one of the things that again has to be changed is the perception about how government operates, and that I think with progressive bureaucrats, with progressive officers, I think it is bound to change. When people see that everybody is looking at making an easier, simple, more tenable platform for operating business, it's going to be very, very easy. And then it is then that most government schemes will have a bigger offtake. One of the other very important things that we've been talking about has been constantly that we say that India is not manufacturing enough. We are more trying to be job workers. We are not doing innovation. At the same time, we are our quality is not good enough because we are using old machinery. We buy old machinery from all over the world, bring it to India, and then start manufacturing. And the quality that we offer is the worst in the world. And with the result, on the other hand, when we look at China, when we look at other countries, they incentivize upgrading the unit on a constant basis. They say, you can use up to 30% of the tax that you are going to pay to subsidize your new investment of technology. If you want to get a new machine, if you already have an old machine and you want to get a new machine because it's not working very well, we will subsidize 50% of the cost if you are already in existing unit. Similarly, countries around the world also say that if you are upgrading your systems, your processes, whether it is an ISO or whether you want to go in for higher standards, we will reimburse you money that you are going to spend for getting international certification or testing and all that. There is somewhere, requirement for all of us as a manufacturing nation to put into place a mechanism that actually pushes us to upgrade our equipment, our processes, our technology. And I would like all of us to please put some light on this. Nilesh bhai?
आपकी बात एकदम बराबर है, उसी लाइन पे हमको सोचना चाहिए, डेफिनेटली.
Thank you, Nilesh bhai. Jyoti, would you like to come in on this? Upgrading our processes, our manufacturing prowess, our equipment, and whether the government can do something
there is no
about
shortcut. There is no shortcut. If we have to bridge the gap, there is no other way we can do it. Quality is the only way we can do it. Anything that we use today, I think we are importing it. And if our current account will always be in the deficit because of these imports, whatever we do as a country, it is never going to be enough. And the only way to increase the exports, or at least substitute the imports, as the government calls it, the import substitution, is quality. Till we do not trust our own brands, till we do not buy a Maruti and a Mahindra and a Tata over Audi, and the moment we get some money, things are not going to change. So, yes.
I can understand. I completely agree with you. In fact, one of the other things that I've seen is there's also a certain resistance. I see a lot of entrepreneurs who say that, अरे मेरी मशीन बड़ी मुश्किल से मैंने ये खरीदी थी, अब मैं इसको बेच नहीं सकता, इसी पे काम करूंगा. अरे बट ये जो प्रोडक्ट आपका बन रहा है वो ठीक नहीं बन रहा, तो आपके पास कस्टमर नहीं हो रहा है. दूसरे साइड से, एक साइड से वो मतलब अपग्रेडेशन का नाम सुन के ही लोग भाग जाते हैं. दूसरी साइड से जब हम लोग बात करते हैं कि भाई अभी युग है जिसमें आप घर बैठे, आप अहमदाबाद में ही बैठिए, बट आपके पास कस्टमर पूरे वर्ल्ड से होंगे, तो आप डिजिटाइज करिए, ऑनलाइन जाइए, आपके D2C मार्केट्स एक्सप्लोर करिए, B2B मार्केट्स एक्सप्लोर करिए, जिसके लिए आपको घर से बाहर हिलने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. आज इतना सब ई कॉमर्स की वजह से और इंटरनेट की वजह से इतनी सब पॉसिबिलिटीज है, उसमें भी लोग को बड़ी तकलीफ है. तो ये भी कैसे हम लोग, हाउ डू वी enable people to move forward in this? Everywhere people say that अरे नहीं भाई इसमें प्रॉब्लम है, मेरा पैसा चला जाएगा, मेरा ये नहीं होगा, मुझे पता नहीं ये कैसे करते हैं. And on the other hand, you find rural entrepreneurs who educate themselves on YouTube and God knows what all, and they are being able to, we have quite a few cases जहाँ पे rural entrepreneurs have started selling mushrooms to Japan. Forget India. And most people in India don't know that shiitake mushrooms can cost a bomb if sold to Japan. And it can be done in any place which is dark and humid, and it doesn't need anything. It really does not need anything for having shiitake mushrooms, and they cost a bomb. But most people don't know कि बेचना किसको है, by short life है, छोटी-छोटी चीजें. तो that sort of aspect wherein whether it is e-commerce, whether it's digitalization, whether it's upgrading our knowledge, upgrading our machinery or processes, I mean, किस प्रकार का push चाहिए हमको government से? क्या करे government कि हम लोग ये कर पाए? हेतल.
Sir, at present, the conversion of land to non-agricultural land is a very much time-consuming process in India, specifically in Gujarat. It takes roughly 3 to 4 months for this conversion. Due to such, this commercial production gets delayed. Okay, so there should be some mechanism or some process or some change in law so that this timing gets reduced.
Okay. This is about land laws that you are talking about, so we need to relook at them. Okay.
Vinod ji.
Yes, Hemang bhai.
Amit.
Yes, Amit.
जो आपने बताया ना कि अपग्रेडेशन ऑफ मशीनरी एंड वो उसमें देयर इज अ स्कीम ऑफ द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट where by upgradation or modification in the machine, if you save electricity, if you save water consumption, if you save raw material consumption, or by any means if you can improve your production capacity, then there is a scheme wherein the subsidy is available. So but yeah, again because of lack of awareness, we get very few applications a year.
इनफैक्ट सेंट्रल सेक्टर स्कीम भी है जिसका नाम था CLCSS, तो वो भी सुषमा जी it is right now, yeah, it is in abeyance if I'm not wrong.
It's right now under revision, sir.
Yeah. तो वो भी एक चीज है कि जब आपने पास कॉन्स्टेंटली एक स्कीम लाते हैं, फिर उसको 1 साल के लिए रखते हैं, फिर वो चेंज हो जाती है, तो वो भी एक बड़ा मुसीबत है कि आप कॉन्स्टेंटली एक लाइन पे नहीं रहते. तो जो आपने बोला कि ये गुजरात के पास स्टेट की एक स्कीम है, बड़ा अच्छा है. उसमें कितना पैसा मिलता है अमित जी?
35 lakhs.
Yeah,
35 lakhs. Excellent. So we have that covered up there. So in terms of upgradation जो हमको करना है या 35 lakhs ये करना है, तो नीलेश भाई हमको थोड़ा we will need to do a little more promotion to all our people, क्योंकि अभी अमित जी बोल रहे हैं कि इनके पास they don't have enough applications for getting this money. तो ये 35 लाख per unit मिल सकता है सब लोग को. And let us identify all the people that have old machinery and उनको बोले कि भाई चलिए आप सब अपग्रेड करिए मशीनरी.
और हमारे पास तो उल्टा ये लोग लिख रहे हैं कि CLCS को वापस आप एक्टिव कराइए, जबकि अगर स्टेट में ऑलरेडी ये सब स्कीमें चल रही हैं, तो देयर इज नॉट इनफ अवेयरनेस amongst our associations also and amongst members also, because when we know, we'll start promoting and talking about it.
जिस तरह मतलब समझा रहे हैं उसके हिसाब से लगता है कि ऐसे फोरम के साथ एक लोकल अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम ये सब पॉइंट्स पे रहना चाहिए, और डेफिनेटली मतलब हम साथ में रहकर अच्छी तरह काम कर सकते हैं.
Very correct, sir. You know, now I'll come to Parag sir's topic. The topic is basically taxation, compliances, GST, and penalties and all that. So, one of the things that most of our MSMEs around the country are saying कि मुझे अगर मैं गुजरात में अहमदाबाद में काम कर रहा हूँ और अगर मुझे दिल्ली में खुदा ना खास्ता किसी कस्टमर को ऑपरेट करना पड़े और दिल्ली से बिल करना पड़े, तो पहले तो मुझे रजिस्टर करना पड़ता है वहां पे. तो वो रजिस्ट्रेशन के बगैर मैं वहां पे बेच नहीं सकता. अगर मुझे वहां पे ऑफिस नहीं है और मैं पीपल से कि नहीं जब तक नहीं होगा भैया हमको लोकल GST नंबर से बिल करो, तो 12 जगह अगर मैं कंट्री में माल बेचता हूं तो 12 की 12 जगह मुझे रजिस्टर करना पड़ता है, और हर जगह पे रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए वही 12-13 डॉक्यूमेंट्स प्रोसेस, और उसके बाद सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट कंप्लायंस. हर जगह में कंप्लायंस करने के लिए 10 से 15 हजार रुपया आज की तारीख में खर्चा है GST का. तो कैसे एक साधारण MSME जो सिर्फ अपने शहर में ही नहीं बट ऑल ओवर इंडिया बेचने की कोशिश कर रहा है, कैसे वो ऑपरेट करेगा? पहली बात तो वो. तो प्रिंसिपल प्लेस ऑफ बिजनेस, आई थॉट इट वाज वन टैक्स वन नेशन. तो अब हो गया है कि वन टैक्स, उसके भी मल्टीपल हो गए, चलिए ठीक है, वो तो उसकी क्लैरिटी है, बट वन नेशन की जगह पे अब ये 36 स्टेट्स हो गए. तो जहां पे भी आपने बिजनेस करना है वहां पे नया रजिस्ट्रेशन करना पड़ेगा आपको. तो इस सब को कैसे हैंडल कर सकते हैं? दूसरे साइड से हमारे पास जो महिलाएं हैं जो छोटे बिजनेस करती हैं, 30 लाख 40 लाख 50 लाख का टर्नओवर है. सूरत से हमारे पास करीबन 100-125 महिलाएं हैं जो टेक्सटाइल्स और ज्वेलरी और कई सारी चीजें करती हैं. अब उनको हम लोग ऑनलाइन लेके गए और बोला कि भैया हम लोग आपको कोशिश करके व्हाट वी विल डू इज कि आप चलिए और ऑनलाइन आपको डालते हैं मिंत्रा पे, फ्लिपकार्ट पे, अमेजोन पे. और जैसे ही वो करने गए तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमको उन सब के लिए जीएसटी रजिस्ट्रेशन करना पड़ा। एक साइड से हम लोग बोलते हैं कि 40 लाख तक या जरूरत नहीं है, दूसरा कि भाई एनुअल टर्नओवर है तो सिंप्लीफाइड कंप्लायंस होगा 1.5 करोड़ तक, और दूसरे साइड से फिर उनके ऊपर मल्टीपल कंप्लायंस डाल रहे हैं अगर आप ऑनलाइन जा रहे हैं। एक साइड से हम सब एसोसिएशन जितनी भी इंडिया में है वो सब पुश कर रही है कि सब डिजिटल जाए, सब ऑनलाइन आए, ताकि पैंडेमिक के टाइम पे, इस सब टाइम पे जब कुछ नहीं चल रहा, कम से कम वो घर उनका चले, वो रोजगार दे पाए लोगों को। और दूसरी साइड से ये कंप्लायंस का बर्डन जो डाल रहे हैं, ये कैसा अजीब सिचुएशन हो गया है। और हमारे पास कई बार जवाब नहीं होता जब महिलाएं उठती हैं और बोलती हैं सर मैंने रजिस्टर करा था, आपने बोला था मुझे रजिस्टर करने को, अब मैंने 1,20,000 का माल ऑनलाइन बेचा, बट मुझे अब सीए 20,000 रुपया मांग रहा है। नंबर 1। नंबर 2, एक महिला का तो टोटल, ये भी बड़ा अजीब सिचुएशन है, गुजरात की महिला है, उन्होंने केस लिखा हमको कि सर हमने जो बिजनेस किया टोटल 54 लाख रुपीस साल का 2020 में, तो उसका ऑडिट आया है, और जब मैं ऑडिट करने का सीए को बोलने गई तो वो बोलता है कि पहले 2 लाख रुपए दो, तब मैं ये ऑडिट का फाइल उठाऊंगा और उसका रिप्लाई करूंगा। तो ये सिचुएशन है कि कैसे हम लोग इस सिचुएशन को इजी करें, कैसे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को सपोर्ट करें, और कैसे आप लोगों को भी इसी ये सब सिचुएशंस क्या क्या आ रही हैं रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में। दिस इज व्हाट वी वांट टू डिस्कस एंड फिगर आउट। अपार्ट फ्रॉम पेनल्टीज तो हमको सब पता है कि भाई अगर आपने किसी भी वजह से कोई मर भी गया घर में तो आपको पेनल्टी, मतलब आप बैराग में थे 4-5 महीना तो आपके मल्टीपल उसका आपको 10,000 आउटस्टैंडिंग था, उसका आपको 50,000 देना पड़ेगा अल्टीमेटली। तो ऐसी सब सिचुएशन से कैसे निकलेंगे? अगर हमको रियली एक ऐसा नेशन बनना है जहां पर बिजनेस चलेगी और बिजनेस के सहारे हम लोग को एम्प्लॉयमेंट देना है, तो कैसे हम लोग ये कर पाएंगे अगर ऐसे ही कंप्लायंसेस और मिसट्रस्ट बना रहेगा एंटरप्रेन्योर और गवर्नमेंट के बीच में। तो I'd like to start with Jyoti ji first.
I think compliances तो इतने हैं कि I was in a part of a Startup India seminar in which the CA said, set up a company in Delaware if you want to get funding. This was a government seminar. They said, we can't deal with so many compliances. That is one. So I think there has to be a three-pronged approach. One, if we are dealing with the matters today, one, how can the government support to clean up the past? Whether it is a 2015 service tax issue which is haunting you or a stupid compliance, because a lot of energy is wasted in just dealing with those issues rather than focusing on generating more business. You need to hire people to just deal with that. I'll give you a very small example. We supported a startup because at that point of time, there was this 2% CST and the startup was supposed to give us a form, which the startup did not give. We did not take any money from the startup to pay the CST. And today, after 6 years, with the interest, I have paid a 67,000 rupees CST on behalf of that startup because they have shut down their business. I gave them a subsidy to support them because the government said do that. How do you deal with such issues? The same goes for a SEZ PO, which I received from a big company like Wipro. I'm not afraid of taking names. It was Wipro. After 6 years, I am receiving a penalty of 4 lakhs because they say they were supposed to give a Form A, which I was supposed to collect, which they are not willing to give at this moment because it's 5 years now. But I am receiving a penalty and for not paying the service tax, which I never took from the client. So one, I am a service provider. Second, I have a valid PO, which is registered with the PO number, everything, the payments were made, everything is legal, everything is liable, but the compliances are coming back to haunt you. So this is when I have a team of 3 to 4 people in my accounts department. What would a startup do? What would a small MSME do who have just one accountant? It's haunting for them. So one, let's clean up the past. Second, let's see how we can, I don't know, how we can reduce the compliances, and that's my.
Excellent. You're completely in tune with exactly what is the feedback that we've got from a lot of other Gujarat companies. So completely in tune with that. I'll go over to Hetal.
Yes,
Hetal is more sieged with these issues on a day-to-day basis. So we will have some more insight from her, I'm sure. Hetal, you're again on mute.
Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Sir, first of all, the role of government needs to be redefined from acting as owners, regulators, and controllers. The government should now play the role of facilitators at all the levels. And presently, there are various types of returns which is to be filed in the GST, even on a monthly basis. So this needs to be minimized to a minimum monthly one return, as this was in VAT regime. Okay. And further, in case of refund, there has to be some passbook system. Means when there is a refund in the income tax return, the assessee must be able to withdraw the same as per the requirement. Okay. And further, if there is a refund in the past year, the assessee must be able to carry forward it to the next year. Right. And sir, some more points which has been left in access to capital points. Means the sanction of loan process has to be a digital process. Means this process should be completed within 15 days by submitting all the documents in soft copy. Okay. And these are the various types of stamp duties which is paid on hypothecation and mortgage. This would be minimized. Means minimum 300 rupees of stamp paper for each document or something like that. And at present, this is the most important point. The banks are charging prepayment charges or foreclosure charges in case of takeover of bank facilities, which may be CC or term loan by another bank. Okay. So even if the other bank is offering the cheaper rate of interest than the existing banker, then I am unable to transfer it to a new banker because I have to pay prepayment or foreclosure charges. Earlier, the RBI has issued one circular. In that case, the bank cannot charge prepayment charges on housing loan and non-business loan to individual. This circular is required for MSME. I mean, if I am getting the cheaper rate of interest, yeah.
Very valid point. Very valid point.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and presently, sir, most of the public sector unit banks are taking document value of immovable property up to the 3 year of purchase. Okay, in India, many times the actual value means market value is more than 4 to 5 times than this actual salaried value. Okay,
very correct.
So for the as of doing business, the RBI should come out with the circular that instead of this salaried value, the bank should allow the market value as a collateral valuation.
That's also very correct. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much, Hetal. So I'm going to go over to Hemang Bhai. Hemang Bhai, do you have anything to contribute in this, or Jagdish Bhai?
Sir, I am for taxation side, or you want to include capital also in this, or you want to restrict
we
right
can
now?
include capital
Right,
also.
why? Because my journey is from partnership to private limited to SME listing. Now, I also, many people from us may come out for the SME platform listing on the BSE or NSE. The fun is, if you go for apply of Paytm IPO, you have to apply with 14 or 15,000 rupees, right? While in SME, one has to apply with 1,20,000 rupees. So SME के लिए कोई 1.25 लाख रुपया अनजान आदमी तो लगाएगा, जबकि दूसरे बड़े कंपनी जिसकी वैल्यूएशन आप हाई दे रहे हो उनको 15 आदमी अप्लाई कर रहे हो. तो एक फाइनेंस में एक पॉइंट ये जरा इंपॉर्टेंस आ गया. और दूसरा, लिस्टिंग के बाद larger institutions like LIC or nationalized bank like SBI, mutual fund or Axis Bank, they should be forced to invest 5% in SME equity. बिकॉज बाकी तो कोई इसमें इन्वेस्ट करेगा ही नहीं. आप रिलायंस का शेयर भी एक खरीद सकते हो 2000 रुपये में, एसएमई वाला शेयर तो एक तो 2000 का लॉट में खरीदने का है. तो वो फाइनेंस का पॉइंट जो है कि भाई लार्जर इंस्टीट्यूशंस इक्विटी में एसएमई के साथ एसएमई के में इक्विटी के रूप में जुड़े. दैट्स एसेंशियल. दैट हेलो
जी बोलिए.
या सो वो तो उसमें क्या है कि अगर वो अब मैंने एसएमई पे लिस्ट कर दिया, अब मेरा कंपनी में ट्रेडिंग कौन करेगा? अगर मैं 2 साल तक रेगुलर ट्रेडिंग करूंगा तब मैं मेन प्लेटफॉर्म पे जा सकता हूं, राइट? अब उसमें ये इंस्टीट्यूशन को इक्विटी लेकर ही पार्टनरशिप करे, ऐसा कोई प्रोविजन इसमें अब आना जरूरी है, बिकॉज देयर इज नो प्रोविजन ऑफ दैट, सो नोबडी इज इन्वेस्टिंग, एंड देन SME person who has to pay for market maker, exchange fees and everything with his own little tower, and then going to, of course it is a white money, all government is earning सिंगल एक शेयर शायद खरीदा है लॉस में या प्रॉफिट में, आपको टैक्स तो सब भरने हैं 3-4 STT ये सब. So on one side you are promoting the SMEs to then to come on the main platform, and you are putting a big hurdle on them. ये एक तो बड़ा lot size आपका है, और ये कोई इंस्टीट्यूट आएगा ना FI आएगा, या किसी को फोर्स है ही नहीं. So I think this sort of larger Indian financial institutions should be forced for a minimum 5% of their capital should be invested into SME and MSME companies who are approaching for a listing and or like that. That is what.
Very correct. Very correct. Thank you, Hemang bhai. Jagdish bhai.
टैक्स अभी कोई भी इंटरप्रेनर SME है तो छोटा यूनिट है, तो उसके लिए कंप्लायंस पूरे करने के लिए जो लीगल और जो ऑब्लिगेशंस जितने हैं सारे के लिए उसकी जो कॉस्ट आती है ना, और उसका हर्डल आता है ना, जैसे पुरानी कोई क्वेरीज निकल जाती है, तो उसको लीगलिटी को पूरा करे, बिजनेस को रन करे, मार्केट को करे, कंपटीशन में, ये सारी सिचुएशन में बहुत डिफिकल्टी होती है. तो सिंप्लीफिकेशन थोड़ा सा अपन डिमांड कर सकते हैं, अगर कुछ हो कि बहुत SMEs है तो उनको थोड़ा अलग कैटेगरी में करके उनको सिंप्लीफाइड प्रोसेस से उनको देखा जाए. बड़ी इंडस्ट्रीज है जिनके पास हाई स्किल के हाई एम्प्लॉइज हैं, तो दे कैन डू द डिपार्टमेंटल वाइज द स्क्रूटनीज एंड एवरीथिंग, दे कैन कंप्लीट देयर कंप्लायंस. अदरवाइज सिंगल इंडिविजुअल एंटरप्रेन्योर और SME यूनिट, दे आर आल्सो, लॉ सबके लिए एक है. बड़ी कंपनी है जिसने मल्टी करोड़ का जिसका टर्नओवर है, तो वो एक्सपर्टाइज सब रख सकता है, लेकिन स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रीज और स्मॉल लोगों के लिए बहुत डिफिकल्टी होती है.
Very correct, Jagdish bhai. In fact, we have been constantly talking to the GST Council also कि भाई इसको रिजॉल्व करिए, इस स्टेलमेट को किसी ना किसी तरीके से आप इसको ईज करिए, ताकि SMEs, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स ये एक बर्डन ना समझ के, और बर्डन समझ के फिर ऐसा ना करें कि भाई मुझे बिजनेस करना ही नहीं है या बिजनेस ही बंद कर दे. क्योंकि कई बार ऐसा हुआ है कि हम लोग के यहाँ पे इससे डिसवेड होके लोगों ने बोला है कि मुझे बिजनेस ही नहीं करनी, मैं वापस नौकरी पर जाता हूँ. एंड आई कैन टेल यू कपल ऑफ केसेस जहाँ पे लोग मतलब 20-25 साल की नौकरी के बाद अपना एक यूनिट खोला और उसके बाद बोल दिया कि भैया मेरे से ये होगा नहीं, दिस इज टू मच ऑफ अ बॉदर. नाउ दैट डजंट मीन कि मतलब हर कोई ऐसा है कि हम सब लोग तो जूझ रहे हैं रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में GST से, कंप्लायंस से, पेनल्टी से, ये सब से. बट कहीं ना कहीं पे इफ वी हैव टू गेट अवर नेक्स्ट जनरेशन एंड टेल अवर नेक्स्ट जनरेशन की डोंट बी जॉब सीकर्स, बी जॉब क्रिएटर्स, वी विल नीड टू क्रिएट अ कंड्यूसिव इकोसिस्टम जहां पे उनको मजा आए बिजनेस करने का. क्योंकि जब तक उनको मजा नहीं आएगा वो करेंगे नहीं, क्योंकि नेक्स्ट जनरेशन हमारी वो है. और हमको तो मजा नहीं आ रहा, इतना तो पक्का है, हम तो बड़ा जूझ रहे हैं इस सब से. अंकित जी, आपके कमेंट्स प्लीज.
मेरा अभी 2 साल हुआ बिजनेस का, राइट. GST में रायतल मैम को पता रहेगा, GST में क्या होता है कि मैं अगर वेंडर को, मेरा वेंडर है, मैं उसको पेमेंट कर देता हूँ. अगर मेरा वेंडर टाइम पे GST फाइल नहीं करता है, फिर भी मुझे, तो मैं क्रेडिट नहीं ले पा रहा हूँ. मैं मेरा वेंडर को भी पेमेंट कर रहा हूँ और GST भी पे कर रहा हूँ, दोनों जगह पे मेरा पेमेंट जा रहा है, मेरा कैपिटल ब्लॉक हो रहा है. तो इसका प्रॉपर रीजन होना चाहिए. वेंडर अगर नहीं कर रहा है टाइमली फाइल, तो उसको पेनल्टी होनी चाहिए, या उसको कुछ ऐसा प्रोविजन होना चाहिए कि उसको कुछ आगे बढ़ के GST रोक दे या फिर उनका काम ही बंद कर दे. मैं क्यों सफर हूँ, मैं कैपिटल मेरा ब्लॉक हो रहा है, राइट. सेकंड थिंग है MSME समाधान, जो बहुत अच्छा प्रोविजन है MSME के थ्रू. उसमें भी एक दिक्कत वही आ रही है कि मैंने 2-3 कंप्लेन फाइल की थी, क्योंकि मेरे पानिनिया कस्टमर्स हैं, तो मैं हर कोई जगह पे जा नहीं सकता हूँ. बिजनेस कर दिया है, PO है, टाइमली PDC चेक भी दिया हुआ है कस्टमर ने, पर अगर वो पेमेंट रिलीज नहीं हो रहा है ड्यू टू सम इश्यूज, तो MSME समाधान में हमने कंप्लेंट डाला हुआ है, राइट. तो MSME समाधान को भी वो 45 दिन का है कि 45 दिन के बाद अगर कस्टमर पेमेंट नहीं कर रहा है तो मुझे पेनल्टी इंटरेस्ट के साथ में मुझे पैसा मिलेगा. बट MSME समाधान के पास भी हम 2-3 बार रिक्वेस्ट मोड में गए गांधीनगर में कि हमको हमारा पैसा सर कब मिलेगा, क्योंकि छोटा अमाउंट नहीं है, हम स्टार्टअप है, राइट. तो हमारा 3 लाख 4 लाख 2-3 जगह फंसा हुआ है. तो एमएसएमई समाधान हमको कैसे हेल्प करेगा कि हमारा पैसा ऑन टाइम आ जाए, या फिर ऑन टाइम नहीं तो एटलीस्ट, क्योंकि 1.5 साल हो गया, एक केस फाइल किया हुआ 1.5 साल हो गया, 5.5 लाख रुपए फंसे हुए हैं, नई कस्टमर पेमेंट दे रहा है, एमएसएमई समाधान से केस हो गया है पर उसका रिजल्ट नहीं आ रहा है। तो रिजल्ट के लिए एमएसएमई समाधान हमको कैसे सपोर्ट करेगा कि आगे जाके पैसा कोई किसी का भी फंसे तो क्लियरली उसको जेन्युइनली पता चले कि नहीं पेमेंट आ जाएगा, गवर्नमेंट हमारे सपोर्ट में। तो जो बंदा इंटेंशनली पैसा दबा के बैठा है उसका जीएसटी बंद होना चाहिए, उसका फैक्ट्री बंद होना चाहिए, तो ऐसा लोन होना चाहिए। तो क्या होगा कि कोई भी बंदा आगे जाके ऐसा करने को उसको प्रॉब्लम आएगा तो वो देखेगा कि नहीं ऐसा नहीं कर सकते, अपने को लॉस के साथ में चलना है, किसी का पैसा फंसा के नहीं रखना है। तो एक दूसरा चीज ये था पैनल, बाकी कंप्लायंस के बारे में तो सबने बताया हुआ है ऑलरेडी। दैट्स इट फॉर माय साइड।
थैंक यू अंकित भाई। हम लोग ने जब जीएसटी काउंसिल में एक बार गए तो हम लोग ने बोला आपने हमारी सिचुएशन गांधी जी के देश के लोगों के जैसे करी है। उन्होंने बोला कि जो सही है, अगर कोई तुमको थप्पड़ मारता है तो दूसरा गाल भी सामने कर दो। तो हमारी सिचुएशन वही है कि भाई हम लोग सही चल रहे हैं, बट उसका खामियाजा, उसकी प्रॉब्लम भी हमको ही पैसा भरना है, उसका भी। और अगर उसने नहीं भरा तब भी कोई फर्क नहीं है। अगर आपको बिजनेस करना है तो आप उसका भी पैसा भरो, और उल्टा मतलब so it's like you are paying it twice. So that is the mechanism. And आप तो गांधी जी के ही स्टेट से हो तो इसलिए लागू आप पे ज्यादा होता है। तो मैं before I go to the government, I will love to have Nilesh Bhai's comments on this.
Sir, new entrepreneurs are preferring opening a new LLP or partnership firm than opening of new company. It is advisable to extend tax year benefit to LLP and partnership firm registered with ROF2. Secondly, sir, self-declaration and self-certification should be encouraged and made applicable for MSME to the extent possible, sir. And lastly, quarterly filing should be given to composition taxpayer only. Regular taxpayer should file their return on monthly basis only, so that other access can get their ITC in time and file their return correctly, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Nilesh Bhai. I'm going to give this opportunity to Amit Bhai, and after that, the last word will be of Parag sir today. So Amit Bhai, your comments, please.
विनोद जी, मैं सेल अपना टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट से कोई नहीं इनवाइट किया?
टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट से पराग सर है ना?
हाँ, so I think it would be difficult from industries commissionerate to speak something on taxation.
I know, but I just wanted to, just in case, as individuals also, we sometimes have a point of view and perspective. So I thought maybe, I'll go to you, and if you have any point of view on this, but it is good that, you're faced with all the inputs that all the people, all our respected friends are giving here. So, you are aware of what the ground issues are. And I will definitely now go to Parag sir. टैक्सेशन का सर आप तो ये सब कंप्लेंट्स रोज सुनते रहोगे, आई एम वेरी श्योर अबाउट इट। तो बट इसका आपको क्या लगता है कि आपके हिसाब से पर्सनल ओपिनियन आपका क्या है कि भाई ये इसको कैसे हम लोग सुलझा सकते हैं, कैसे इसमें तब्दीली ला सकते हैं?
जी विनोद जी, अब एक टॉपिक था रजिस्ट्रेशन का आपका, कि वेरियस स्टेट में रजिस्ट्रेशन करने का प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है। तो पहले वेट था, उसके बाद जब जीएसटी आ गया तो वन नेशन वन टैक्स हो गया। इसमें अगर आप एक गुजरात से, मान लो कि आप गुजरात से सेल कर रहे हो और गुजरात में इंडिया में कहीं भी या एक्सपोर्ट भी कर रहे हो, तो आपको हर एक स्टेट में रजिस्ट्रेशन लेने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। आप जहां से सेल कर रहे हो वहां पे आपको रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना है। ऐसी कोई प्रोविजन नहीं है कि आप जितने स्टेट में सेल्स कर रहे हो उन हर एक स्टेट में आपको रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना है। वो रजिस्ट्रेशन तभी लेना है जब आपका वहां पे ब्रांच है। मान लो कि मैं अहमदाबाद से ब्रांच है आपका राजस्थान में, तो आपको लेना है। एक वो प्रोविजन है, तो आपको हर एक स्टेट में रजिस्ट्रेशन लेने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। एक ए पॉइंट था। उसके बाद एक पॉइंट था कि ओल्ड रिजीम के ड्यूज काफी थे और उसका प्रोसीडिंग चलता रहता है वेट का। तो उसमें गुजरात गवर्नमेंट ने रिसेंटली एक स्कीम निकाली थी, वेरा समाधान स्कीम 2019 करके। उसमें जितना भी ड्यूज बाकी था उस पर पेनल्टी वेव कर दी थी, इंटरेस्ट भी वेव कर दिया था। सिर्फ टैक्स पे करके आप वेरा समाधान में जा सकते थे। और उसका बहुत सारा हमने एडवर्टाइज भी किया था गवर्नमेंट ने। और इवन जब जो एनफोर्समेंट के केस थे उसमें भी पेनल्टी मिनिमम करके और 25% से पेनल्टी लेके बाकी ड्यूज वेव करने का एक विवाद समाधान स्कीम आया था और उसको बहुत अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स भी मिला है। तो वैसे गवर्नमेंट का स्टेप आते रहते हैं कि जिससे ओल्ड रिजिम के ड्यूज सारे क्लियर हो जाए, ओल्ड रिजिम में प्रोसीडिंग्स जो है वो खत्म हो जाए और हम जीएसटी में माइग्रेट हो सके। दूसरा एक चेंज था पेनल्टी वाला, कि पेनल्टी का आप जीएसटी में बोल रहे थे कि बहुत ज्यादा लगती रहती। जीएसटी में ना एक परमानेंट एक्ट के अंदर ही एक ऐसी प्रोविजन डालिए कि आपका कोई भी कंप्लायंस आपने नहीं किया या कोई टैक्स छूट गया तो उसमें आपको ऑफिसर जो होगा नोटिस देगा। उस नोटिस से पहले वो डीआरसी 1A देता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड इंटीमेशन। अगर इंटीमेशन पे आप एग्री हो कि हाँ हमारा एक टैक्स छूट गया था तो आप सिर्फ टैक्स और इंटरेस्ट देके उससे छुटकारा पा सकते हो, आपको पेनल्टी देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। सेक्शन 73 एंड सेक्शन 74 ऑफ जीएसटी एक्ट डील्स विद दिस थिंग। उसके बाद था कि काफी और कुछ भी प्रश्न आ रहे थे, उसके लिए हमारी कॉमर्शियल टैक्स ऑफ गुजरात की साइट पे भी लगा हुआ है कि फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर हर एक सिटी में बनाए गए और उसका लिस्ट और एड्रेस अवेलेबल है साइट पे। और हम इसका अगर आप रिपोर्ट या ऐसा कुछ प्रोड्यूस करें तो उसमें भी उसका लिंक दे देंगे, वो पीडीएफ दे देंगे। ठीक है। फिर एक पॉइंट था डिजिटलाइजेशन का। डिजिटलाइजेशन में अभी जीएसटी आने के बाद सारा कुछ डिजिटलाइज हो गया, आपको यूनिट विजिट करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। आपका रिफंड हो, रजिस्ट्रेशन हो, सारा एप्लीकेशन आप अपने कंप्यूटर पे बैठ के कर सकते हो और जो क्वेरी होगी वो भी उसी में आएगी और उसी से आपको कंपाइल करना है। रिफंड भी डिजिटलाइज हो गया और उसका गवर्नमेंट का एक सर्कुलर आया है 125 करके, उसमें सारे डॉक्यूमेंट प्रिस्क्राइब है कि अगर वो डॉक्यूमेंट के साथ आप एप्लीकेशन करते हो तो रिफंड अगर ड्यू है तो वो पूरा उसी इतने डॉक्यूमेंट पे ही आपको मिल जाएगा। फिर एक और चीज थी ऑडिट का कंप्लायंस। तो अभी गवर्नमेंट ने ऑडिट कंप्लायंस में एक नया नोटिफिकेशन दिया है। उसके हिसाब से अभी सीए अगर नहीं है और आप खुद अगर कंप्लायंस कर सकते हो, वो जो फॉर्म से वो फिलअप कर सकते हो, तो ऑडिट में सीए की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, डीलर खुद भी फाइल कर सकता है। फिर एक और था जीएसटी डिले इन पेमेंट वाला था। एक था कि एमएसएमई को कोई पेमेंट नहीं करता, कोई लार्ज इंडस्ट्री या कोई उसका कस्टमर, तो उसका जीएसटी ब्लॉक होना चाहिए। तो जीएसटी के अंदर वैसे भी प्रोविजन है कि 180 डेज तक अगर कोई पेमेंट नहीं किया जाता तो उसकी आईटीसी डीलर को नहीं मिलेगी। जिस बिल का उसने पेमेंट नहीं किया उसका जीएसटी क्रेडिट उसको नहीं मिलने वाला। उसके बाद एक था कि दूसरा हमारा सप्लायर अगर जीएसटी नहीं फाइल कर रहा फिर भी हमें पेनल्टी लगती है, एक ऐसा पॉइंट था। तो उसमें पब्लिक साइट पे, जीएसटी की पब्लिक साइट पे ही आप अपने सप्लायर का नंबर डाल के देखो परचेस के वक्त ही, तो उसने कितने रिटर्न फाइल किए हैं वो आपको दिखाएगा। अगर उसने रिटर्न फाइल नहीं किया तो आप उसका जीएसटी पेमेंट मत करो या फिर उसको अपने ब्लॉक लिस्ट में डाल सकते हो। एक प्रोविजन। और गवर्नमेंट अभी एक कर रही है कि रेटिंग दे रही है, तो वो भी प्रोसेस में है। तो आप अपने लॉगिन से या अपना सप्लायर का जीएसटी नंबर डाल के देख पाओगे कि उसका कंप्लायंस का रेटिंग क्या है, तो उसके हिसाब से आप अपने सप्लायर चूज कर पाओगे।
पराग जी, मैं एक्चुअली जब बात कर रहा था मल्टीपल रजिस्ट्रेशन की, अभी देखिए एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं आपको। हमारी एक महिला है वो गुजरात से, तो वो सारस एग्जिबिशन में गई और एग्जिबिशन में जब उसको वहां पे लोकल बिल देना पड़ा तो अब उसके पास गुजरात का बिल था, बिल बुक। तो उसको वहां बोला गया कि भैया तुम यहाँ बेच नहीं सकते अनलेस यू हैव दिल्ली का रजिस्ट्रेशन। अब वो एग्जिबिशन में गई है।
आप एग्जीबिशन की बात कर रहे हो तो उसमें ऐसी प्रोविजन है कि आप टेम्पररी रजिस्ट्रेशन ले सकते हो जीएसटी में, जहाँ पे आप अपना टेम्पररी ब्रांच आप टेम्पररी अपना ब्रांच कहीं पे खड़ा कर रहे हो, तो उसके लिए प्रोविजन है कि आप अपना एस्टिमेट दे दो कि हमारा इतना सेल्स होने वाला है और उसका पेमेंट करके आपको सारा रिटर्न एक ही बार में खत्म हो जाएगा। तो उसके लिए प्रोविजन है, उसमें टेम्पररी रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना है और उसी रजिस्ट्रेशन से आपका वो एग्जीबिशन वाला काम हो जाएगा और उसके बाद आपको हर एनुअल या मंथली रिटर्न भरने की कोई जरूरत नहीं।
मैं वही तो बोल रहा हूँ पराग सर कि क्या है कि अगर मैं एग्जिबिशन के लिए भी जा रहा हूँ तब भी मुझे अटक गया। अब मैं किसी को सप्लाई कर रहा हूँ, मान लीजिए दिल्ली में, और अहमदाबाद में मेरा ऑफिस है, और मेरा माल जो है दिल्ली के बाहर नॉर्मली हम लोग क्या करते हैं कि कोई एक वेयर हाउस में जगह ले लेते हैं और वहां रख देते हैं, फिर जैसे जैसे माल की जरूरत होती है उनको वहां वेयर हाउस से डिलीवर करवाते हैं। अब जैसे ही मेरा वेयर हाउस वहां लग गया, तो अब ये है कि भैया उसका जीएसटी जो आपका पास है वो गुजरात से नहीं बनेगा, वो दैट हैज टू बी मेड फ्रॉम दैट वेयर हाउस, और वो वेयर हाउस भी मेरा नहीं है, तो किसी और का है, तो अब बट उस पर मुझे जीएसटी रजिस्ट्रेशन लेना है। तो ऐसे कई सारी चीजें हैं जो बिना मतलब कि क्या मैं अगर मैं गुजरात से हूं तो और हर स्टेट में क्यों रजिस्ट्रेशन करना, क्या निकलेगा उससे, किसको फायदा हो रहा है उससे, किसी को नहीं। तो मैं यही बोलने की कोशिश कर रहा था, जब हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी बोलते हैं कि भाई सब चीजों को सिंप्लीफाई करिए, डिजिटलाइज करिए, ताकि आसानी हो, प्रजा को आसानी हो, जो बेचने वाले उनको आसानी हो, कंज्यूमर्स को आसानी हो, तो ये कितनी कंफ्यूजन सिचुएशन है। अब देखिए जिस महिला की मैं बात कर रहा हूं वो तो परेशान हो गई, उसने फिर बोला मुझे जेल डाल दो बट मैं गुजरात का ही बिल दूंगी। तो हम लोग पुश कर रहे हैं लोगों को कि आप रूल तोड़े, तो अदरवाइज कैसे आप देखिए हाउ डू यू अदरवाइज गेट हर टू डू दिस। और उसको ऐसा भी नहीं कि उसको पहले पता था, उसको उसी दिन पता चला जिस दिन एग्जीबिशन स्टार्ट हुआ, तो बोली अब मैं क्या करूं, अब मुझे बोल रहे पहले जाके रजिस्ट्रेशन करवा के लाओ, तो ये कहाँ पॉसिबल है। तो आई मीन ऐसी कई सारी सिचुएशन है जिनसे हम लोग बड़ी इजीली बच सकते हैं अगर थोड़ा सा एहतियात हम लोग बरते इन टर्म्स ऑफ कि कैसे छोटे मंजिले उद्योगों को हम लोग ने सपोर्ट करना है। अगर हम लोग सपोर्ट करना चाहते हैं तो उसके कई रास्ते निकलेंगे, और लॉज बनते हैं हमारे लोग हमको लाइफ आसान करने के लिए, और उन्हीं लॉज को अमेंड भी किया जा सकता है बशर्ते हम सब लोग क्लियर हो कि इन अमेंडमेंट से हम सब लोगों का फायदा है, सब लोगों का फायदा है, सिर्फ हमारा नहीं, बेचने वालों का नहीं, सिर्फ इंडस्ट्रियल्स का नहीं, हर किसी का फायदा है, तो तब हर कोई लॉ अमेंड हो सकता है। तो आप लोग ने मेरे साथ ये बहस करी और आज तो कुछ पॉइंट्स डिस्कस करें, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। It is a pleasure talking to all of you. Look forward to seeing you again very soon. I'm giving you back to Sushma ji.
Thank you very much, sir. It has been a very, very healthy, enriching, a lot of things I got to know, and a lot of things, we have that we wish to compile and present. And in fact, I'm going to urge all our members that please write and send it out to us, because I've been reading some of the messages in the group. There were a lot of people who wanted to comment on these issues, but because of time limitation, we could not take comments. So please write and share it with us, and we'll definitely take it up and include it in our recommendations. Very, very good suggestions have come out of today's discussion, and we keep inviting more such discussions so that we build a very robust, healthy and flourishing ecosystem for our MSMEs. So with that, just one last comment I would like to ask Amit Bhai on any export development policy that might be there, because that is one point which we left. So on export development, Amit sir. Vinod sir, I know you have another meeting, so it would be nice. It would be okay if you would like to leave, sir.
Yeah. Export related, recently the government of Gujarat, the Industry and Mines Department has signed an MOU with Amazon, so that उसमें ऐसा है कि Amazon, if any of the MSME unit of the Gujarat with this MOU, if it attaches with the Amazon, then Amazon will show it off in the 200 countries.
Okay. Across
the globe. So if a local product within some corner of the Gujarat, if some MSME unit is making, and if that unit is attached with the Amazon, then through Amazon he or she can sell it to any of the 200 countries through Amazon. that MOU recently government has done.
But I was more keen to understand about whether there is any existing policy in terms of encouraging or in a way subsidizing costs of cataloging, because during COVID, many entrepreneurs have taken their business online, but there are definitely costs of cataloging, shooting, creating online catalogs of their products and all. So is there any scheme where you are able to reimburse those costs or help? Because online is also one of the ways to boost your exports while just sitting here. I mean, you don't need middlemen anymore with the platforms like Amazon and eBay and all.
Yeah, as on today, directly, we don't have such policy. But yes, we reimburse some of the if some of the units wants to do exhibition abroad, then that policy is there, that there we give some up to 5 lakhs or so that we reimburse. That policy is there, but not on a larger scale. So yes, that can be looked upon.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Amit Bhai, for that. Yeah, Jyoti ji, you wanted to say something?
I just want to come in there. Amit Bhai, if you can look at some marketing expenses schemes for, as Sushma ji rightly said, one is for participation in international trade shows, which is very limited. Second is participation in international credible awards. So you can have a list, because when you pay in USD and it's absolutely very difficult to back those awards. So some of that, because that brings a lot of business and recognition to the country. And number 3, also, listing yourself in a lot of directories and a lot of anything which can promote exports from India, whether services or products. So all those schemes would be really beneficial.
That's a good suggestion. Yeah. Yes, Amit Bhai.
That can be simplified, as rightly mentioned by Jyoti Ben.
Great. One last question for Parag sir. Parag sir, there have been instances which have been highlighted by our members, wherein many companies, when they make payment to MSMEs, they hold back the GST payment. Okay, and they say that only when we see it in traces or the returns, when you file GSTR, that is when we will pay you the GST amount. And that also they'll again get into the cycle of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and so on and so forth. So what do we do in those cases?
ऐसा कोई प्रोविजन नहीं है कि आप जीएसटी का उनको रिटर्न दिखाओ कि आपने उनके नाम पे रिटर्न भरा है तभी उनको पेमेंट रिलीज करना है. वो अगर ऐसा कर रहे हैं तो वो इलीगल है या फिर उनका कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल टर्म के हिसाब से है. जीएसटी ऐसा कुछ रेस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं दे रहा कि अगर आपने पेमेंट जीएसटी रिटर्न भरने के बाद ही उसको जीएसटी का पेमेंट करना है.
Sir, if they know that it is illegal, so obviously it is not a part of contractual. There are many such vendors जो GST hold करके रखते हैं और वो अमाउंट फिर वो ना कैश फ्लो में आता है ना वो पेमेंट में जाता है और MSMEs के लिए वो काफी दिक्कत पैदा करता है बहुत बार. So, I mean, if those cases are highlighted to you, will any action be taken?
Actually, ये आप जो बोल रहे हैं ना कि पेमेंट होल्ड करके रखा है, वो जीएसटी के परव्यू के बाहर है, क्योंकि वो दोनों पार्टी का कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गई कि आप मुझे क्रेडिट वाला रिटर्न दोगे तभी मैं आपको पेमेंट करूंगा. जीएसटी एक्ट कई पेज में उसको रेस्ट्रिक्ट भी नहीं करता और ऐसा भी कोई प्रोविजन नहीं है कि जिससे बोले कि हाँ आपको पेमेंट इसकी वजह से नहीं रखना.
ओके.
तो वो दोनों पार्टी का अंडरस्टैंडिंग और कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल टर्म है.
ओके. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Parag Bhai. Thank you, Amit Bhai. You guys have been so patient And in fact, my gratitude to both of you कि आप लोग पूरा सेशन बैठे पेशेंटली आपने सब कुछ सुना और इतने अच्छे से आपने हर एक प्रॉब्लम का हल भी बताया, सॉल्यूशन भी बताया, प्रोविजंस भी बताए, स्कीमें भी बताई जिनके बारे में हमें कुछ स्कीमों के बारे में जानकारी नहीं थी. So thank you very much for that, your time आने के लिए, हमारे साथ डिटेल शेयर करने के लिए. And thanks to all our entrepreneurs who have joined us here today, Jagdish Bhai, Hemang Bhai, Ankit Bhai, Jyoti Ben, Hetal Ben, और हमारे Nilesh Bhai. So thank you very much for coming, and we'll make a white paper and we'll share with you all also. We'll share with the state also. And if there are any more comments that you may have, please do send it to us in writing. So thanks to our viewers who are still tuned in for this program. Thank you very much. Have a great evening and keep safe.